Welcome back to the Brothers Woods podcast. I'm your host, Josh. My brother Jared here as always. And today we have a new guest, Tyler. Say hi. All right.
What's up, guys? It's your boy.
That classic YouTuber intro. What's up, guys? It's your boy, J Rod, up in the house.
So yeah, we're back. We're here to discuss The Defenders, which has obviously been out for a couple weeks now, but we take our time. So what'd y'all think? Quickie review for the first few minutes of this. Give us your quickie review, no spoilers in this part.
7.5.
I'm gonna agree with that. About a 7 out of 10 for me.
All right, I'm going to say
better.
like a 6 out of 10 or maybe even a 5 out of 10.
Oh, wait. I have to use the Netflix new rating. Yes.
Yes. Yes or no?
No.
I
Yes.
hate that.
I guess
Yes.
yes.
Would it
I
have
can't be
killed
mad
them
about
to
it.
put in a maybe?
Well, I can't be mad about it because it would be like 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5. It would be like 1, 5, 1, 5. And now it's like, what do you mean I only get 2 choices?
I would do.
What the fuck?
I would do 3 or 4 for everything. If it was really bad, I'd do a 2.
If it was really good, I'd do a 5 like Daredevil season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That gives away how I rate things. I'm always like, when they give you those things when you try and get a job or whatever, it's like, how do you feel about this?
4.
Yeah, it's always
4,
like
4.
3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like I said, a 7 out of 10. I think the themes of it were fantastic. There was things I really liked about it. Like I liked how they stuck to each other's themes. As
You like they use the
like the coloring,
the camera angles and the coloring and stuff.
yeah, and the music choices and things like that. So I thought that stuff was really
That
cool.
was the coolest part about
The
this.
choreography was definitely way better than Iron Fist season 1. And
But
wasn't as good as maybe like Daredevil season 1 or 2.
They had the hallway shot.
Yeah, I actually thought the hallway scene in this one.
This is the second
fantastic.
hallway scene. I just realized that.
They've always seen for every one of these series.
I think they had like
But
after Daredevil was so successful.
had
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that
that's
one
what
was
started it with the bikers
amazing.
in season 1. Was,
Yeah.
That was like the Raid or Boy. Like that was like, oh, that's the scene you always talk about. I think.
yeah, and they had theirs, and I thought theirs was actually in the Defenders was really good. So I mean, overall, the only it was pretty good. Like I said, 7 out of 10. The villain was the Hand, and their
the story
motivation was kind of lackluster.
not flushed out. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. Especially kind of falls apart at the end.
Simplistic, I guess. I don't know how I feel about the combat. Was like pretty good. It was okay. It wasn't amazing. We'll talk about that as we go along.
I remember like 2.
I remember the Midland Circle fight, and that's mostly it. I don't think
Remember
that's
parts of that
spoiler
one?
really. Maybe that is. Sorry,
That's my
not too
favorite. The
bad.
whole scene
Oh,
of this
yeah,
is my favorite
that
fight
one I
scene.
remember.
of it.
But my biggest problem, I think it has to do with nothing really clicked with me amazingly just throughout the whole thing. That's why it wasn't. None of it was terrible. I don't think it just didn't really connect with me. But the biggest problem, and it was also something that I'm kind of glad they're doing. I think the whole plot of this is revolved around the fact that Danny Rand sucks. He's real bad. He's an idiot. He's the lowest IQ on the team for sure. They had to work with that because he was like that in Iron Fist season 1. I think it's like Star Wars where like there's a thing in new canon Star Wars where they talk about Jar Jar. Jar Jar is hated by pretty much everyone but little kids with disabilities. Like that's pretty much how he is. And then literally every adult in the world finds him annoying and hates him in the world, in canon of Star Wars.
He's pretty terrible.
So I feel like that was them acknowledging how we felt about Jar Jar and just saying that. I think that's what they're doing with Danny Rand in this. They're like, okay, Danny Rand sucks. We get it. Everybody in the world of this place now agrees with you. They're like, Danny, you're dumb. You're really dumb. They constantly make fun of him the entire.
You've gotten your ass
season.
kicked every single time. Every single time. Just wait. Just wait here.
They
like
can
just 5 minutes. Just hang out with us.
just
Just
don't
for a
leave.
minute.
Just don't leave this fucking zone. Yeah. They make fun of him all the time and
Hold down
stuff.
the fort.
Which is great, but it also kind of, in a way, sucks because I think the plot revolves around that as well. Revolves around him being a dummy. And that sort of drags the plot down.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely felt kind of like a Iron Fist 1.5, and I'll say this was way better than Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed.
the first season of Iron Fist, and it sucks for me because I was super looking forward to Iron Fist.
It was the one I wanted to be, the one I wanted to succeed the most.
Yeah, and actually, when I first watched this, Defenders first season, I was actually pretty happy with a lot of it. Like I probably gave it an 8 out of 10 initially, maybe an 8.5 out of 10 because I was just so ecstatic that Iron Fist was, although
he wanted more.
Yeah, well, Iron Fist was actually way better in this than he was in the first season of Iron Fist. However, after rewatching it multiple times, I still see he's very weak.
He's very weak. But that's my point. Is I feel like they did this as a result of Iron Fist season 1. They were like, okay, we're gonna improve his character now. We're gonna put him with other people who are actually decent and smart, and they're gonna make fun of him, and he's gonna make a bunch of mistakes. And at the end of this, hopefully he'll grow. I think that's the whole thing. At the end, we'll talk about it when Daredevil whispers that thing to him. You know what I mean? We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I think the whole idea is that Danny Rand is supposed to grow through this season. This is almost like his season.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing because I want Danny Rand to be a good character, and he sucks, and I don't like him. But it's also a bad thing because it means the whole plot of this season revolves around him being a bad character.
Pretty much.
So it's like a mediocre thing. Like, I accept it.
Like, let me pop into this person's life,
yeah,
after things have been.
Well,
I
that was my
some
biggest problem
experience.
with the first Iron Fist. Is I really felt like he should have already been there, but I think they just did it because they wanted a character who had a lot to grow.
They still could have done it. I mean, Scott Buck, the guy who did the first Iron Fist, he's now doing Inhumans, which literally right now on Rotten Tomatoes has a 0%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 0% for the first 2 episodes. They need to never hire this fuckhead again. Like, he's literally the worst.
The guy who wrote that, and what else was it?
He wrote the last seasons of Dexter.
Oh yeah, that too. I was like, there you go. That's like the biggest link. Everyone hated those. That was the worst ending to a series ever.
He has a swath through television that's like, why are you getting another job?
Like a literary Sherman's March.
Yeah, he's not good at all. I don't understand how he's getting work. Hopefully after Inhumans, people will be like, never mind, someone put this guy on the street because never let him do anything.
All right, make that guy homeless.
Yeah.
That's how Hollywood works, guys.
That's our decision. Make him homeless.
Little Hollywood insider. If you do
I
bad,
don't know,
you
man.
become
I'm just
homeless.
saying, like, he's awful, yo. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, season 1 was awful, and like the way they could have made it like where he had a lot to learn, but he still wasn't a bad show. I mean, there's plenty of shows where their origin stories where they start out underdeveloped. Even Daredevil, you know, just he wasn't even the Daredevil in season 1. You know what I mean? So like they could have done a lot better. And Scott Buck sucks dick. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he just had like Anakin syndrome. He was just shitty to watch.
Colleen's still pretty wet.
Spoiler warning. I love Colleen.
I could agree with that for the most part. I mean, sometimes she's like
Well,
trying to keep up with the big boys here. You know, it's like
She- yeah.
she's just a
Gotta
normal
try.
person,
Gotta try.
True, but
She's fucking samurai.
so
dog.
is yeah. I
This
mean,
is Bushido.
bruh. She got
Fucking-
beat later on in this season by Bakudo. The man had a knife. She had a
Yeah, Bakudo
samurai
kicks her
sword.
ass.
Yeah, he also
And
had
he's playing
several
with her.
thousand years on her.
I mean,
of
that's true.
hand-to-hand
That's
combat.
true. That's true.
plus she's like miffed, and he's just like whatever.
He's all
it's all
what,
good.
yeah,
He's
had,
calm
like, a
and
foot
stuff.
on her. Like, how
Isn't-
tall was that guy?
I don't know, but
Like
all I know
capoeira
is
shit.
Colleen thinks she can handle. She's like, I can defend myself. Like,
She-
literally in
Yeah.
season.
Be jumping at shit and be like, "Yo, calm down."
Yeah, well, here, that's so just a
Legitimately
real stop
bad
right
idea.
here.
I still like her, and
Hold
I
on,
like.
one second.
Okay.
That's it for the quickie review. So we know that's the spoiler free section. We're gonna be jumping into
Oh
spoilers.
shit! Did we say something?
Yeah, I don't know if we did or didn't, but if we are, we're definitely jumping into spoilers now. So we certainly didn't.
Oh,
do
we
anything.
did. We talked about her fighting Bakudo.
Well, we said that. Have it.
Well, whatever.
Maybe I'll like put like spoiler section or something
Add that shit in.
because that's even a reveal, honestly, because they think
Yeah.
Bakudo's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Very true. Okay, so
I see. I
add
never
that in.
watched. I never watched this one.
Spoiler free was now there. Now we're into spoilers, so just beware of that. Anyways, like we were saying, go back to what you were saying.
What was I saying?
We were talking about Bakudo and
Oh yeah, that guy. I didn't know who the fuck that guy was. Like he popped up and I was like, "Oh, this is supposed to be significant," but I did not watch
You didn't watch,
Iron
yeah.
Fist at all. Cause
Yeah, I mean-
I did not like that.
he's the South American.
I remember-
side of
yeah.
the
Picked
hand.
that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
After like he was like, "Hello," and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
not Asian. He's not the black guy. I can figure out kind of where he's coming from here."
Isn't that weird? I thought about that. How they were like, all right, the 5 fingers of the hand
Yeah,
are
it's like, how
all
did they
different
get there?
internationals, and yet they're all from Kunlun.
They're not from
They, like,
Kunlun.
made their way
They
to
made their
Kunlun.
way to Kunlun, met there.
And then we're like, all these Asian people, fuck that. What?
Yeah, I feel like there probably would have been a few more. Well, see, maybe that's just it though. Is that they were actually like, yeah, no, we understand, and we don't want to leave or be immortal or do anything bad, and it's just like the white people showed up, and then they were.
I guess, but some of those people aren't white people. In fact, the vast majority aren't white people.
True, it's very true. But the biggest asshole is.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
That's kind of weird, isn't it? How the leader of everything is white. I see what you're
I
doing,
don't see what you're
Netflix.
thinking about race. I don't know about that.
No, I wasn't
Well,
thinking
of
about
course,
race.
it's
I
fine.
just thought it was
there,
weird
so
how
bring
they
it
were
up.
like, okay, and everybody in the hand has their own nationality and their own whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's like they never gave up anything about like. Of course, that could also be a part of it, like why they wanted to act so bad, and like,
because they were from other places, whereas everyone in Kunlun was just always a monk or something.
yeah, like they never actually gave up their fucking
Lives.
their lower level bullshit.
Yeah, maybe like sort of similar to Danny Rand in a way, I guess, because Danny Rand had to get out.
Except he did it for good.
I don't know if he did it for good. I mean, he didn't do it for bad either. But
Well, he was immature.
He was
so,
selfish
he
about
made,
it.
He made a rash decision, but from the
Since-
headspace he was in, you
oh yeah, I mean, you can see like you've been gone for 15 years or something. You know, everything you knew is out through that gate, and they won't be back around for another 15 years.
He
so-
also I think he said that he wanted to go out and destroy the hand or something. Like that was his excuse.
also it's like you got to think
that
about
was an excuse.
what age he was when he showed up, and it's not like
Yeah, he was like 13.
yeah, he wasn't in real life after
Which
that.
is we'll get there, but there's some arguments that he could have leveled at Luke Cage at some point where I was like, why don't you just tell him the real deal here instead of just playing his game? But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into episode kind of like what happened to episode 1. So with episode 1, you pretty much, I like how they did this. So you start off kind of seeing where everyone has just recently been in their seasons, and then kind of where they're going now to get together and become the Defenders.
It takes a little while for them to actually become the team. It takes like 4 episodes, and this first episode is just
As soon as we see
where are they now?
where are they now, and get them started on the track to getting together. And so you got Daredevil, who's not being Daredevil anymore because Karen Page and Foggy hate him for being Daredevil, I guess. They don't really. I don't understand why he's not being Daredevil.
it's tearing his life apart.
It's tearing his life apart, but it's like already gone because Karen doesn't hang out with him. Foggy doesn't hang out with him, so he doesn't really have any reason
But
not
then
to be.
He mends that relationship in the first episode because like I've stopped. I haven't been doing. It shows him like struggling with wanting to go out and do it, but then being like, "Oh, the cops got to fucking handle him, fucking pigs."
True. But at the same time, she's like, okay, well, maybe in 3 to 5 years we can get together. Like, she doesn't show any real.
I hated Karen Page. In both season 1 and 2 of Daredevil, I really like Karen
I
Page.
thought she was great.
In Defenders, I fucking hated her. Yo, like, oh my god,
She's just a naysayer the whole time.
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
don't really remember a lot of her scenes.
you know what it is? She's acting like what's his name, Daredevil. She's acting like Daredevil is a alcoholic or something. Like that's how she's treating him. She's like, again, you're doing it again. Like she's been
drug
burned
addict.
so many times and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's fine. Maybe you don't want to feel in danger and stuff, but he's not an alcoholic. He's saving people's lives. I mean, you got to give the
And
guy
not
a
only
little
that,
break.
Her life multiple times by being the Daredevil.
True. You're
You think
alive
she'd have
because
a
he
little
saved
bit
people.
Of sympathy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like
It's a little bit hypocritical.
of her being. Yeah, it's like I don't like this puts you in danger. I don't like that you're in danger.
Yeah, I don't like her naysaying. I think Foggy has done a little bit better, where he's like, I understand what you're going through, and I'm gonna try and
Yeah,
I'm not gonna try and hold you back or anything. I just saying get over it whenever you can. I'm gonna try and help you get over it.
yeah, that's
He
him.
definitely-
Yeah,
Toward the end, especially like he's like gives him the suit and everything. It's like at least Foggy's coming around.
Foggy's like, I know.
he's trying.
Yeah, he's trying. He just tried. That's all Foggy's saying. He's just trying to help him.
And doesn't at one point isn't he is like if you don't quit, like okay, like still just like talk to me about.
Yeah, he's like, we're still friends. You can trust
that's
me.
the part that I don't understand. It's like he's stopping this so he can
And
be
then
friends with them, but
he
yet
loses his
never
friends.
talks to his friends, never talks to Karen Page. Like, what
I
are
mean,
you
that's
doing?
real life, dog. They're lawyers. Like I'm fucking busy and can't talk to people, and I fucking deliver pizza. Imagine what a real fucking job demands.
Yeah,
of your
but I
fucking
mean,
time.
if
They work
you're
60 hours a week.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if generally you're
Yeah, but
doing
if-
this shit to not so you could be friends and talk, then you would be friends and talk. If you're not gonna be friends, then you might as well get your ass back out there and start punching people in the
Yeah,
face.
that was the big plot hole for me. He's making these changes so he can have his life with these people, and yet he doesn't have a life
Well,
with these
that could
people.
also be because he's all the fucking Catholic bullshit and everything, like self-flagellation is like torturing
he's all about
himself
that.
by staying away from them. while doing this so that he can earn the right to close to them again.
I
that
guess
definitely seems like a very Matt Murdock.
I think
character.
that
I'll agree with that.
I think
for
the
sure.
alcoholism metaphor actually works. Like the addiction metaphor works really well. He's treating it like he's an addict. He's like staying away from him in his detox zone or whatever.
It's like he's treating it that way. Like it's not what it is. It's just him wanting to be a good person because he has the ability to do more than the average person. But then it's like treating it like it's a sickness,
like it's an addiction or something.
Ashamed of doing.
So we get on Luke Cage. I mean, I'm kind of jumping around in the first episode, but what we're talking
They
about
jump
this
around
one,
a lot. It's actually
we'll get on Luke Cage here next. Who he's out of prison now, and back
Very
in
coolly.
town. He's got
Gets out really cool.
gets out really cool.
Luke Cage is always fucking cool.
He's got some ass coming.
everyone. Yeah, I
When he
know, right?
gets out, yo,
He's a
baller coming out of prison, man.
He's leaving prison, and all the prisoners are cheering for him as he's coming out. He gets out. He's like, "All right, Foggy, what's up? People call you Foggy. That's dumb."
You let them do that.
Yeah, and then he's like, "All right, where's Claire at? I'm about to get some. Is she
Knock
here?
that
We can do it here."
out.
Yeah, he's ready to get some. We got his themes going on, and does this thing with.
Didn't punch a single person.
Oh, he didn't, man. He's a non-violent man. Like, and Stick kind of mentions that later, man. He needs to let himself go because he did a lot more damage. But comes out, Misty Knight. He does this thing with Claire. Just gets his thing on, and then comes out. Misty Knight brings it back in and takes him this case where this kid just died. It was brother of girl he was saving in his season or whatever.
Candace, who died. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Most unlucky family.
essentially gets
in the
history.
Screwed.
yeah. Essentially gets him back on track of trying to help Harlem. And, like the whole thing with Luke Cage is he's helping like the little guys out. And I don't mean just the little guys as a general, but like specifically individual people. And so that's what he does. He goes back to trying to help this one family out, this one kid out now because he's the last of his two siblings.
Yep. He keeps it very local.
And then Colleen and Dan fucking
Colleen.
sneaking around after the hand.
Oh, that's actually how it starts. I guess.
That's how the first scene, they're in Cambodia.
They're in Cambodia. They're fighting. And I want to talk about this fight scene just a little bit.
Go for it.
It's not a good fight scene, in my opinion.
It's a random
way
dude
too jumpy. You can't see
in the
anything.
dark. Yeah.
But I think the reason for that is because they didn't want you to know it was Electra, who, I don't know if you guys did this, but
Instantaneously.
I knew it
Like,
immediately.
Yeah, it was so obvious.
It's a slim woman with black hair and a giant fucking cloak. Like it's electric nachos.
Well, they didn't want us to know, but they also didn't want Danny to know, so they were trying to make it really choppy and stuff so you couldn't see.
I think
and
they
it really
felt there.
fucked the fight scene. It was so hard to follow.
Well, also you got to think about they didn't expect anybody to give a shit about the fight scene until Danny showed up, and then it's like that dude gets stabbed and he's like, "No!" And it's like
That's the overacting part, man. I was talking to you about earlier.
What is wrong with
No, that's not the worst overacting part.
That's
Well, I'm just saying that's part of it.
The part where he has the dream, which is the part we were coming up to, I
Oh
think.
Jesus, that fucking tattoo.
That tattoo.
That
I don't.
looks like
I
trash.
don't even know. The dream?
Yeah, when he's on his way back to New York.
Oh, yeah,
On
yeah,
the
yeah.
plane
yeah.
and like
I don't like the
he's standing in
tattoo.
back.
Anyways, that was weird because it starts. It's like it establishes where Colleen is, and then it goes to Danny, and then it's like actually it's a dream. I was like, why even establish where Colleen is?
Yeah.
Colleen, if it's a dream, why not just start in the bathroom
Like, oh, we're trying to trick you that it's a dream.
and then immediately reveal? Like, it didn't really work. It was stupid, but he has a dream about everybody in Kunlun being like, "You abandoned us. We were killed because of you," and he feels really bad about it.
I mean, and we were talking about this earlier. I thought Danny's character was way better in this than he was in Iron Fist, but still really weak. And I mean, Tyler, were just talking about this, man. Yes, a lot of it is the writing, but I'm starting to think a lot of it is the acting too, man. There's just certain things like that when he screams out no, like a good actor wouldn't scream like that. That's overacting your
And it wouldn't be like
no.
heartbreaking. It would have been like angry, like
exactly.
fuck or something.
He
He should have just yelled fuck.
He said that, he said exactly. He should have just yelled fuck because like if Colleen got stabbed there, then I could see him going no. But if just some random guy gets stabbed that he don't want to get stabbed, it would be like, oh shit. That would be it. Like that would be your emotion.
But I think the direction they're giving him is to be childlike and be like that, be highly emotional.
They could be, and that could be why he's acting that way. But I don't know. I still feel like a better actor would.
I mean,
be
it
acting
basically
this
comes
way
down
better.
to things like either he's not that great and Like he didn't
And
get
the
featured
director
a
is-
lot in Game of Thrones anyways, so it's not like
We don't really know how good he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he
I'll
did
give you
good in
that.
Game of Thrones, but he didn't actually have to really do.
yeah,
much
he didn't
in
have a
Game of
huge
Thrones.
range of like.
Yeah. Also, the
requirements that he
character he
needed.
played in Game of Thrones was very.
Side character. Like,
He was
he's-
side
he's
character,
a
but he was
trophy.
also very like emotional and stuff. I mean, so he might have already been used to playing something like that.
What I do know is I'm sure Marvel or Netflix, as a lot of people watching Marvel, they need to pay somebody to train this fucker. Like, and that's one of my complaints for right now. It seems like so they come out with Daredevil. It's a huge success. Everyone loves Daredevil. Like you don't hear almost anybody who's on
popping boners day and night.
Yeah. And then so you got what's essentially maybe not their Game of Thrones, but like something that's like really popular. And for some reason, it seems like the production value is actually going down though. Anyone notice that?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of things like.
They
What is
probably
that?
start strong and then they run out of money because they paid like a total
Well, see,
money
now,
for all
now
of
they
it.
have all the actors at the same time. They're not doing one series at a time.
But
so
it's
they
also
gotta-
less episodes, fewer episodes. Yeah, fewer.
I love how quiet you were about that. Like I don't want to bring it up, but it's whom.
Professional.
No.
Hoomst.
Yeah,
Hoomst is this
but
about?
yeah, so they have that going on, man, and it's whatever. First episode in
definitely
general, it's definitely the first and second episode are pretty slow, but I do kind of like where they're going, showing everyone where they're at and where they're going. Missy went Jessica Jones. What's she doing first episode?
She woke up in a bar,
That she did.
being old JJ. I could not finish Jessica Jones. I couldn't finish Jessica
me
Jones,
neither.
and I couldn't finish Iron Fist. I couldn't finish Iron Fist because it was fucking trash. It was garbage, and I hated it, and I didn't want it. I couldn't finish Jessica Jones because it was heavy. It was hard.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
hard to watch, especially because I love David Tennant because obviously Doctor.
Doctor Who, yeah.
And fucking, but like watching him and someone with that kind of power and just seeing that kind of shit, I was like, I feel fucking violated. I can't watch this.
That was
I
one of
can't
the
do this.
first times
Like
you
this
see-
shit is genuinely scary.
Yeah, he didn't actually watch.
I didn't like it. I watched about half of it and didn't finish it either. But for the opposite reason, I actually thought his character was boring. Like
and
I just didn't. I didn't see a lot of dimensionality. It was just like he's a real evil dude.
Yeah, he's a psycho. Well, I mean, that's usually how
that's-
psychopathy works.
Well,
I was
I
gonna
was
say that's the
coming off
problem
of-
is that you didn't even give it a chance to get to why his character was so bad. I felt like
You're right,
You said half. I don't think that's. I'm pretty sure what you watched was like 2 episodes.
No, I watched more than that.
I did finish Jessica Jones. Like I know everything that happened, and I watched everything that happened. I didn't like. Watch.
I watched
Like,
it,
I
man.
skipped through a lot of the like.
That's
main
one of
plot
the-
points.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things though about when we were not to get too much into Jessica Jones because we're doing the Defenders, but that's one of the cool things about David Tennant's character was like usually in these shows where you see someone with that kind of type of power, you see him they're mind control and it's like but in his case like they like really got in deep to the fucking psycho shit you could do with it.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
anyways, that's kind of whole
Yeah,
point
I
for
think
him.
I think he was all his power. His whole like threat was his power, and for a lot of people that was great because they got into that. But for me, I was coming off of Wilson Fisk, and I just wanted someone who
by
was
far
like,
the best.
yeah, I just wanted.
Very,
I was
yes,
looking for
yes.
dimensionality, and he just at the time, like I said, I think I got like 5 or 6 episodes in, and he at the time he was just like, he's a bad dude.
Yeah, I think it was just
That's
a different kind of dimension.
I mean they
It's
have
not
all-
straightforward like brute strength like they were.
Yeah.
A little
Anyway,
bit more
well,
subtle with it.
Let's move on.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
She
whole
she
different.
shows
goes-
up in the bar. She's like, the night's just getting started. The dude's just like, it's daytime. Go.
It's actually 7 in the morning, ma'am.
She goes on.
Leave.
She ends up getting these this mother and daughter to come in. They're like, we need you to. But the police won't do anything. Our husband, he's like a very structured guy, and he's not showed back up in a week. We need you to help us find him. She's like,
It's fucking mad hose.
yeah, he's fucking mad.
He's thoughting
She
it
does-
up here. He's thoughting it up there.
She does a very cynical. What she is.
Yeah,
She's
Jessica
super
Jones
cynical.
Is a fucking asshole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then
Plus,
we go,
she's heard that spiel probably 1,000 times.
Again, yeah.
we go into episode 2, and essentially here's where they start to get on their individual rides toward actually meeting each other. And so we'll start with probably my favorite aspect of the episode 2. Well, what ends up being probably my favorite aspect of episode 2 was Luke Cage and Danny Rand.
Best fight.
Oh yeah. So Luke Cage, he's trying to find the kid. He's watching for the kid, and the kid's getting into some shit with Sawande,
White hat.
White Hat, and he's one of the fingers of the hand, and he's following the kid. You got Danny Rand, who's going after, essentially on his case to try and get to where he ends up at Styx, like shop. Bunch of dead people. It's essentially the rest of the chest. They're all dead there.
Yeah, I didn't catch the chase.
Whatever.
I didn't actually catch that was the chase the first time.
I'm glad you said it.
I was like, who are these people? And then I was like, after a little while, I was like, oh, that was the chase.
Yeah, that's
obviously.
all the Sticks
Yeah,
homeboys.
they bring it up like just straight up say it as like, yeah, that was the rest of the chase. They're all dead. That one time we both met, that was where they
Remember
were
those guys? Yeah, that was the chase.
That was it. That was all of them. There's that plot point. Done.
And so we're in here.
Cole is coming to clean the acid bath the bodies to get rid of them.
That's my favorite part when they're like, it clearly shows them spraying it on them, and then the flesh starts to melt. And they're like, what is that? What's going on? What are they doing?
What I thought was
they're
crazy,
obviously cleaning the fucking bodies, you idiots.
what I thought was crazy is, yeah, they're doing that, but they're like, we're gonna stop them, and then they fight them, and they just walk in. Pretty much is what they do. And all these people with deadly acid put down the acid, and then try and fight these people who are confidently walking to
One
you.
has a fucking sword.
One has a sword.
One has a glowing fist.
I know he's
Sometimes,
going to that point, but-
occasionally, if you give him a second.
Yeah, if you give them a
I
second.
love that too because they just jump down or whatever and they start fighting them. Like, aren't these all like little thug kids on the street or some shit? So like they just randomly start trying to do some kung fu or something on them.
It's like they're just little kids.
I love how Cole though the kid that
He doesn't
Luke is
realize
fighting-
anything's
He doesn't
going on.
realize anything's
you got
going on. Like he's got headphones in or something because he's like,
Classic headphone mistake.
Yeah.
Never go to work with headphones. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah. Everyone's getting beat up behind him, and then he realizes what's going on. It's like, oh, I'm gone.
So yeah, he runs off. Iron Fist runs up after him, catches him. He's like pushing him up against the wall. You know, like tell me, I'm super intense. Tell me shit.
We're going in for the hit.
Going in for the hit. Luke Cage
And
stops the
boom, okay.
arm. Man, he's like, I'm Luke Cage. Say that shit.
I'm fucking
But
Luke Cage.
he's there. He's
And I'm gonna Luke Cage your day up.
and so Luke Cage and Iron Fist finally. This is the first time they see each other. They kind of meet up. And I thought this scene was actually really fantastic. I'm sure it could have been a little better, but probably the best or one of the best fight scenes in there. Like you just have Iron
It does a
Fist.
good job at showing how fucking dumb
Fucking useless Iron Fist is.
Well, not only that,
before
but
he has his Iron Fist.
it's just showing how dumb he is. But then also like he's trying to fight through him, and
He
it's
is
also showing
determined.
Luke Cage. And like they're doing their shit, but then at
It's
the end,
funny,
it
though.
hits him with the big ass Iron Fist though, and Luke Cage is like, oh, because it also shows Luke Cage like, all right, maybe you're not infallible. Like this dude just had his fist glow and just knocked your fucking rocks off.
Well, I think it's important that he did that, but also it's kind of silly because Luke Cage does not want to buy into like anything.
Mystical whatsoever.
He just like, nope, not happening. I'm like, you get punched by a glowing fist.
You don't
Like,
know
he
does
what's gonna
keep
get
doing-
knocked loose.
That was one
The
complaint
first
for me.
thing happened to you in this show was get punched by a magical fist. You're not willing to accept anything.
The first thing was a useless judo chop.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the head.
Yeah, when they're fighting.
My utmost favorite. But my first time watching that fight, I was just screaming at the screen about like, "This is fucking amazing! Oh my god, Iron Fist, you're fucking worthless.
He's so dumb.
You're a punk ass bitch.
just
Look
like-
at what's happening to you.
He's
Nothing.
just working on Luke Cage just over and over again. Luke Cage just like slaps
Steady
him, just
there.
like get out.
I
Nope.
love how Luke Cage
boy.
does that though. Like he's like, anytime he fights her, he's just
He
so casual. Like he's just like
he does it
slaps-
Terminator style. He just like walks in.
Yeah, just moves his arm and then throws them 50 feet.
Yeah. But and
Not trying to hurt anybody, but still kick their ass.
I love like they go slow motion like right before he does use the Iron Fist. They go slow motion. Danny Rand just like punching at him like multiple times, doing all this kung fu shit, and he's just like taking hits and he just like fucking slaps him upside the head, knocks him on the ground.
yeah, it's great.
Oh man, it's great. Anyways, gets knocked out. They haul ass. The police show up. Cole gets arrested. We got Jessica Jones. She started to decide to take this case because right after she was like, "I'm not taking the case," someone calls up there, which turns out to be the husband, the engineer,
trying to
tell her to not take the case, which then makes her want to take the case.
Yeah. The only thing that could have made her take the case.
How did you not see that coming, bro? How did you not realize that?
I almost feel like if you want Jesse James to take the case, if you want Jessica Jones to take the case, just walk in, tell her what the case is, and be like, "No, actually, I don't want to give it to you," and just
I don't
walk
think
away.
you can do it.
I don't think you can do it. That's how
Literally,
you get
the
her.
best thing he could have done was been like, "Hey, hi, it's me. I'm fine.
Yep.
There's nothing. It's
Honestly-
I'm okay. Tell him I'm fine. I'll be back later."
Why didn't he do that? Yeah, that's
Because
crazy.
no one ever does that.
Yeah, you're
They
right.
want to be paranoid.
That could have been
secretive,
so easy if you just call and be like, "It's me. I know they went to you. I'm fine. I'm just out sleeping with women. Like you know what's up."
He couldn't even be like that. He could just call his family, shoot him a text, dog.
True,
Be
he
like,
could have
I'm
done that.
okay.
I'm
fine.
okay. I'm just having to do some shit
This
right
is
now.
some side works. I'm in some sketchy shit. So
I'm doing some sketchy shit. I'll be back soon. It's cool.
Or yeah, just tell him like, hey,
I do every time I walk
I'm
out
over
the house.
in I'm over in a different country doing a building, man. Sorry, I'm out of town for right now.
Boosh.
He could have just made an excuse like I'm out of town.
Yeah, he goes over to do.
engineer.
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
almost like the
What a
average
pl-
person can't handle like a heavy crime and like manipulating their loved ones and lying to them.
Jessica Jones, and actually, I think she found this in the first episode. She finds like explosives in the guy's apartment.
Them
Yeah,
so
he's
that he
stockpiling
can-
explosives. She gets in trouble with the law there, gets out of it being a dickhead, but gets out of it. And then in this episode, she at the end of the episode, I'm pretty sure he's in her office with I don't know the dude's
The
name.
revolver holding her.
Yeah, hold her friend buddy, and blows his head off because Electra comes in to kill him. He's like, "Fuck you, kill him myself."
You can't have this. You know what I was thinking?
Shit.
You know how what's his name's a Catholic and everything?
Yeah.
I was thinking, what
Hammered up.
if he couldn't get into heaven because he killed himself instead of letting Electra kill him? What if that would have been the worst thing ever if you
I doubt he cared.
I mean, you were probably right. I'm just saying I don't know what made me think that. I just immediately was like, if you were going to die anyways but you killed yourself, wouldn't that just suck if
Malcolm.
you got up and they were like, "No, you can't go to heaven cuz
Malcolm, his name.
you can't go to heaven cuz you killed yourself instead of just dying." Like, come on, man, give me a pass.
But yeah, don't they introduce Sigourney Weaver's character?
Yeah, I mean,
Second
they've
one.
introduced. She was in the first episode too,
Alexandra.
which I guess we haven't really talked about.
Yeah, I don't know. We missed that, but
You know,
We got focused on our favorite parts.
yeah, I mean, Alexandra's here. She's all right. You see her motive right off the bat. She's about to, like, right in the first scene with her. They show her she's dying.
every time you
her
see
motive
her,
is to live forever.
yeah. She's like, she looks really frail and stuff like that too.
But she's doing weird hugging kung
Yeah, that was
Which
weird.
we
in
write
like,
assisting
in
in
like
this next
house
episode.
pants.
Yeah, but every time you see her, pretty much throughout the episode until probably the later episodes, anyways. Every time they introduce her character, she's like sitting in a park. She's like, "I remember when it was just all force on Manhattan."
She's little ways to show her age.
Yeah, she's listening to like a violin. I mean, not violin, like a four-string concerto or something.
Turkish fucking.
She's eating Turkish food. And she's like,
I remember the Empire.
"This was better back in Constantinople," and he's like,
oh,
2,000 years ago.
Constantinople for 2,000 years.
Yeah, she's just saying she's super old, but you know what? These scenes do a really good job at being like, this is why she wants to live forever. She enjoys living. She enjoys knowing all this history and living through all these experiences a lot.
Well, and she's terrified of death, as she says when she revives Electra. She's like,
she does.
There's nothing. There is no afterlife. There's nothing.
Fucking
And I like how they have. She can't dress for shit, but I do like how they have the themes of each one of the bad guys as well. Like if you notice, hers is like a white gold theme. She always is wearing like white.
She's
gold,
got
white
gold pants
collar.
on, like
Yeah,
she got
I
from the
kinda like
80s.
that.
Like beige and solid elemental colors. Like,
So we head into episode 3. This episode, I mean, essentially half the episode, they kind of like go a reback. Maybe I'm not saying this right. Flashback.
they dig up
And
electric
they show
nachos.
Electra, her being dug up, her being turned or revived using the substance, which another thing, they really didn't
wait, hold on.
shit with the substance.
For episode 2, we didn't really talk about that. We forgot to talk about basically what happens that episode, which is the earthquake, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that's
the end of
right.
episode 1 was actually the earthquake. But
Was it?
essentially the earthquake happens, but
Okay, well,
even
the
with that,
earthquake
I don't even
happens-
know why that happens.
It happens. Well, I
They're
guess
digging out from underneath the building. And
So
it's
just because
like,
they're digging, an earthquake happens.
Guess
it's,
so.
Fracking over here. I mean, it was an earthquake. I'm assuming they were doing explosives or some shit.
that's what I assumed too. Some kind of
Because they said in one of the episodes that there was.
She said it was 300 feet down.
Yeah,
was
when they were talking on the Trish show. So, I mean, there must be some sort of. They just knocked some explosives off the.
Oh, we forgot to mention Claire. Claire's around in the second episode.
Yeah, I
And
mean, we
being-
can't get to every little thing per episode.
And we can talk about Claire being the most important character in the entire series.
she really connects every character.
She's the reason they're all not fucking dead.
That's very
True. She saves each character like each episode, each season.
Put this bullet out of your head. Fucking sew your head back on.
Yeah. The side characters are all
Yeah.
great. I just wanted to talk about the earthquake because I think it's important in that
It's the main plot point.
it's the main plot point. It happens, and then because it happens, Daredevil starts. He saves someone because in all the confusion, he knows cops aren't coming, so he saves someone. Everyone sort of realizes like, oh, what was that? Oh, shit might be happening now, and it brings.
Daredevil's a socialist. He stops that demon of capitalism from shooting those innocent looters.
I thought that was kind of silly where he's
I
like,
loved them. I wanted them to steal it and make it. I was so happy he was kicking the shit out of some shop owner that's like, fuck you, I'm going to kill you over $4 of fucking snacks that you stole.
yeah, that was like kind of crazy where he's like, they're just like, we'll put it back. It's fine. We'll put it back. And they're like, nope, it's too late for that. And I was like, in what way is it too late?
Shoot you. I need to shoot you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we got that point that it brings everybody, it makes everybody
together.
Yeah.
I got you. Moving to episode 3, like I said, show Elektra coming out of the grave, whatever, being turned into the black sky using the substance. So I guess this is the first instance where we kind of see what they're talking about when they talk about the substance.
Black shit.
It's
oil.
essentially bones
It's
of
oil.
a dragon.
It's oil.
Mixed with some shit. Brings Elektra back to life. They train her as the black sky. I did want to mention, they keep calling her the black sky, but they never really tell you shit about what the black sky is or to explain. Like, this is part of the problem with the Hand in general and their villainous. That you have no explanation of what their motives really are, other than Alexander's, which is to sort of live forever. You see the other ones, which they just want to go home, I guess. Like, to kind of, they say that later on in the episodes. And it's like, so their motivations are weak as shit. Like, Alexander's is okay, but the rest of them are weak. You got the black sky here, which you don't get any explanation on what really the black sky is, other than you get to see her kicking ass. Well, everybody in here kicks ass. Like, what's so special about her kicking ass?
Yeah, it's just it's a weapon developed to kill her. Okay, it's not really a weapon. Like, it's just a really strong person.
Yeah,
Just
like,
a strong
she's clearly
person.
a
She
little
can
faster, a little
obviously get
stronger than
hurt. Like, she needs to be healed.
So I mean, I think they should have done a little better on that. Stick gets captured because he was with the chase the chase, and that scene was actually really fucking badass. Dude cuts his hand off to escape.
Yeah, he's like tied to a post. He steals a sword, and they're like, you die here tonight, Stick. I don't think so. So cuts his hand off and runs.
Stick's
for it.
like the most badass, shittiest stepdad in the entire world.
Yeah.
He's like, God, I fucking hate you, but you're so goddamn cool. Jesus.
He's constantly reminding you you're a disappointment, but then he also like will beat everybody up. Yeah.
Fuck you. Why do you suck so much? It's like, why do you suck? He's like, I don't. I literally killed 13 people with one hand.
Matt Murdock's kind of been given by Foggy the case for Jessica Jones to kind of help her out, so he's kind of following her around. She's on her case, trying to find this engineer that now has killed himself.
Fucking
and figure
stealing evidence.
Yeah, she's stealing evidence, trying to figure out what the fuck's happening. And so in this episode, they all kind of lead. Danny Rand's decided after talking. So just a side case here. Him and Luke Cage finally actually talk for the first time because Claire introduces them. They don't really get along at first because of their, he's white and rich. Luke Cage is black and street.
Yeah, that was the part
that's a solid like plot thing in the comics. With
yeah,
they always
okay.
talk about that.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
That makes sense. I was wondering about it, but I was also like, because he's like, you're a billionaire white boy. You had the power to do anything long before you were that Immortal Fist or whatever. And I
Yeah,
was like,
that's a big point. Like,
that
I
man
like
was
that point.
13 when he left. What do you mean he had the power?
No, I mean, like he means in a sense it's like, not specifically.
He's just meaning
his
in
story.
general.
It's like,
but
money is like a lot of power, and so like you could do a lot to fix the neighborhoods and stuff, and like not really
True.
feel it effectively while not going out and beating the shit out of some kid that just tried to like steal some food.
True. I just feel like his exact arguments, I was like, why hasn't Iron Fist used to be like, I'm sorry, I lost my parents when I was 13 and then was trained by monks, so I don't really know what you mean when you say billionaire white boy, because it hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah. But I mean,
definitely
at this
think
point in
he
time,
should
he is back and does have
He
billions
does have
of
the money
dollars
now, yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like,
But it's
been
just
on the news.
recently, like, yeah, but whatever.
But they could have been a good argument for him to shoot back. Like, actually, I haven't been rich in 25 or 15
Yeah,
years.
actually, for the last 15 years, I was beaten by monks. So, I mean, your life was probably tough, but mine was too.
Yeah, I mean, they both had tough lives, which I think they come to kind of understand as the thing goes on.
Yeah, they almost hit it off, and then over that, Luke Cage leaves. He can't handle that.
Luke Cage ends up going to the prison with the kid. He ends up hanging himself, but
No, he gets murdered, doesn't he?
well, yeah, I mean, he is murdered, but it's like portrayed as him hanging himself.
It doesn't. It's just he
He
dies.
goes to her mom's house where he's got essentially an address from Midland Circle Financial, so that's how he gets to Midland Circle Financial. And the whole point of this episode is them all getting to Midland Circle Financial so they can all meet up. Danny Rand, after this conversation with Luke, is now like, okay, I need to do things differently. He might not be the smartest about it, but he thinks he needs to do
He's
things
so
a little
dumb
differently
about it,
because
actually.
he does have other resources, and he thinks, I think he
He
walking
puts a
in
lot
there.
of work in.
Yeah, I mean, he puts work
No,
in it.
he-
So, hold on, you can get to your point in a second. So he does his business thing. He thinks he's going to walk up in here, and I know Jerry wants to talk about how stupid it was, and it was stupid, but he wants to walk up in here and be like, all right, I've got people working on it now financially, I'm about to fuck you. At least that's his intent. So he walks up in there. You got Jessica Jones who finds something with
She's
Midland Financial.
researching the company, and she finds that every 40 years they just
switch to different companies. Yeah.
Like
so
a new
she heads
person.
to Midland Financial, and then Daredevil, following her to make sure she's safe, gets to Midland Financial, and then you can get to your point where Daredevil goes to the top. He's going in balls to the wall, and
it's just silly.
Awesome hallway fight scene after this. But go ahead.
It's
say your
just
point.
silly because he goes, maybe Luke Cage is right. I have other resources. I can use them. I can be smart about this. That's kind of what he's thinking. And you think he's going to do that. He figures out who Midland Circle is, on his own. I mean, by using his company resources. And he's like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it using my business connections. And then he just walks up to the top of Midland Circle in front of a bunch of businessmen and is like, I'm going to fuck all you up. You better watch out. I'm coming for you. I'm like, why would he do that? Why would he warn him?
In business, you can do that because none of it's real. Actually hurt each other, so you can be
Yeah,
like,
see,
I
I think that was his thing. Like, he's thinking, like, okay, I'm walking as a business situation. In reality, you could walk into a business, do that. What are they? They're not going to kidnap you, right?
Why would he even warn them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just him going in and being like, I have you now.
It
I
was
have people on the
ridiculous, dude.
case.
I don't remember what his plan was, but wasn't it like he bought him out or something?
No,
Well,
he couldn't buy him out, I don't
he-
think.
I don't think he bought him out. But what he
He
did
was
was
just-
find. He found in his company what they were using a trail for, like, when they stole like $200 million from him
okay.
from his company, and they were using it for
I don't think they stole. I think they
for
just
drugs and other things.
yeah.
And he was like, essentially, I'm going to financially take you guys down. It's on the case. I don't know why he walks.
He was
up in
gonna
there just
expose
to
them for
boast to
what they
them.
did.
You know, he just wants to walk in there and boast to them and be like.
But that's the problem. Like he
Well, see,
figures
that's
out
immature.
a decent plan, but then he's like, "All right, I got to do this by myself." By which I mean, walk into the top part of this enemy building and try and explain to them. He does like an opposite thing that villains do, where they explain their plan unnecessarily.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you that
It was dumb, but I think it was just a reason to get him to Midland Circle.
I agree.
Like a bad reason, but a reason.
So, he goes in and we have our hallway scene as we have to have in all of these, which, and then this one I think is pretty fucking cool. Again, Danny Rand finally, they start this fight off with Danny Rand, and because they're obviously like, oh, we're just going to take you out, bro. So all these businessmen turn out to be like
That
fucking
was pretty
ninjas.
funny too, because I didn't expect. She's like, "I'm not going to kill you, but they will." And then all these businessmen in suits pull out beat sticks.
Yeah.
Every single person at Midland's
It's like
Circle.
nobody has a fucking gun. Like, you don't know how to cock
Well,
a
the
fucking
first lady,
Well,
the first lady had a gun.
They don't want to. Yeah, it's true, but they're all using
He
dart
elbowed a bitch
guns.
in the face.
But I thought it was just funny that every single businessman and woman in Midland Circle wears the same suit, I think, and is a ninja, and it has a beat stick on them at all times.
Well, I mean, you kind of get a little bit of this with Bakudo. I mean, he runs around training these people, and then they go work for Midland
True.
Financial.
I just thought it was just a funny scene when a bunch of a room full of businessmen just be like, "Shink."
They come in and it's just like, all right, everybody, on check, hold them up.
Yeah.
Hold 'em.
I mean,
Steve,
you got your-
Steve.
It's still, again, I mean, you see
Steve.
from other things, it makes sense. Anyways, they
I know,
had the
yeah.
fight scene coming in. This is where I was actually a little happy because Danny Rand finally actually does a little bit decent on his choreographed fight scenes. Starts kicking like all these dudes' ass. Obviously there's a large number of them. He gets held down. Luke Cage pops up in and he's like, "Oh, so now punching's okay?"
Yeah.
Which I thought was wow. Okay.
That was
But
a
you get-
cheesy.
Yeah, but you get a little bit of Mercenaries for Hire comic book look at here, which I thought was fantastic. Like when the bullets start flying, he gets behind Luke Cage, bro. It's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
dope.
I can agree that I want them as a team. I really like that. Especially seeing as what Danny Rand loves hip hop and stuff. I think it'd just be like a funny little thing where Luke Cage would be like, "You little white boy."
Well, they do team up a lot. They just didn't.
So fight scene was really dope.
Fight scene is good. At the end, it's okay that they do this, but at the end, all these people on both sides run at them with guns, and then it just cuts away, and then the next thing you see, they're just kicking ass. And I was like, how the fuck they get out of that situation? That's that situation where the hero has to give up because they're overwhelmed.
Well, if you notice, right when that happens, they group up, but Danny Fist
Does glow? Yeah.
hand starts glowing. So I mean, we've already seen when his hand starts glowing, he can just literally
just,
send out like a
push people.
shockwave, with his hand.
Maybe you're right. Either way, it goes away from that, but then the scene that I do really like happens, which is Daredevil hears the gunshot
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta go. Give me that scarf." Starts running up the stairs, which, like, as soon as he started doing that, I was like, "You gotta go to the penthouse, man. This is gonna take you forever." And sure enough, he gets to the top, and Jessica Jones just walks out of the elevator like, "You look like an ass."
I love that part. Just like, you look like a fucking asshole. Why did you not just take the elevator with me?
It was perfect. I loved it.
I thought that was fantastic too.
And that fight scene was pretty cool. I really liked the camera work on that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, the camera angles were awesome.
Generally pretty good. The only one thing I noticed where I was like, I don't like this camera angle. They were looking. It was when Foggy and Daredevil are at the bar together, and they're using the camera like in between empty glasses, so you can only see like their face framed by empty glasses. It's really distracting to me. But every other one I was down for.
So next episode, they escape Midland's Financial. They hold up in a Chinese restaurant. We're at the Chinese restaurant. They're all meeting up. They're all talking for the first time.
Oh, I fucking love the restaurant.
Oh, it's great. I love how the
when
themes
Danny
of the
busts
restaurant
in
too.
there and he just starts going into the Mandarin and talking to him. He reminds me so much of like my best friend. Like, you know what? I like you.
I love that.
I was gonna say that is where I started to feel like Danny actually started to.
He understood what the fuck he.
Yeah. And this is where you actually start to like Danny a little bit finally, because it's like, okay, he's finally not a complete dumbass. Starts talking Mandarin to this guy. Uses the black card, just essentially buys out the restaurant, which he's gonna have to pay for that restaurant after the fact.
Yeah, he gets fucked.
Start like weirdly threatening people for no reason.
Exactly.
Like,
he just handles it. He's like, I have money, so I'm gonna pay for all this. We're good, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I love.
Also, I ordered food.
That episode. That episode.
He made me order 2 of everything.
That episode was actually probably the best episode for Danny Rand. Like the end of season or episode 3 with the hallway fight, where I think Danny Rand actually had some good choreography, and then episode 4 where he actually doesn't act like a complete dumbass. As soon as he's just in there eating, does a black card manner, it's like so much better. One of the scenes where we actually could see he actually could do well in some other shit. Jessica Jones leaves, comes back because she realizes she has to come back because there's people waiting outside her client's fucking door.
Oh yeah, she finds
Which I wanted to come with that. So when the fight scene actually starts here at the Chinese restaurant, she like crashes the car in on
She runs
Electro
into-
Nachos.
I'm pretty sure she throws the car in.
No, but it drives around. The engine is on.
No, I think she drives in and then gets out the car.
Yeah,
Okay,
but that's the part I have a problem with. She doesn't actually get out the car. The car comes through, and then you just see her walking from behind the car.
Oh,
That's
then
what I was thinking. I was
maybe
like,
she does throw it.
I think she throws
But the
it.
car's on.
Well,
I mean, the guy was in it. She could just.
oh, maybe she didn't throw it. Maybe she just put the pedal on.
Oh, just kicked it.
Okay, well that works. I was just saying maybe she just put like a.
Something.
That
maybe-
part's
It's not
kind of irritating.
super important.
It's not
You
important, but that
kinda
part,
just
the
live
little
with your
things like that can
imagination.
irritate you when they don't exactly make
But
sense.
that's how it ends, and specifically, this is the episode where they're like, "Okay, we're a team." They agree to
Yeah.
become a
Oh, they
team.
really fucking hate it though.
yeah, like
Oh, they hate it.
They don't
Which-
like each other.
Which bothers me.
Matt is not into this. He's doing his whole "I'm blind."
Yeah,
emotions.
they all hate it except for Danny. But I think that's a like I was saying earlier about Danny, them using him as a plot device. I think this is an instance of that where Danny is like really naive and he's like wants to work with them, and because of that, they just had everybody else just shit on him and the idea of working together in general.
Fucking worth.
Which, to be honest, I've talked about this before. I like it when characters just accept things easily. I don't like it when they fight the obvious, and so it really does bother me in a way when they're like, "I don't want to do this."
I'm
I don't
okay
know
with
whose
it a
voice
little
that is.
bit, but not forever.
And they do it like a lot throughout even after they decide to work together, they're still like, "Fuck you, I hate you, I don't want to be here. After this is done, I never want to see you again."
Yeah. Just a quick note before we move on to the next episode for this. This is kind of where the end of episode 3 and this 4, we do kind of find out, by the way, the Hand doesn't want Danny Fist. Danny
Fist.
Rand.
You keep saying
they don't want the Iron Fist dead, but they actually want him alive so they can use him as a key. So that does give some motivation, what they kind of want.
And also
What
why they
want is him,
continually
but,
keep trying to recruit him and not
Kill him.
kill him.
just to mention that, we move on to episode 5. They escape. Well, just also another quick mention. I love when Zawande was
Captured.
captured, but when he first started fighting Luke Cage, and he's beating the shit out of Luke Cage.
Oh
like,
yeah, he's fucking up those pressure.
yeah, he was hitting them pressure points, bro. Luke Cage was like,
yeah, you need to watch out, bro. Like you're
Like, this-
tough and everything. Fucking kill you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Zawande was actually one of my favorite pieces of the Hand. Like he was dope. Sucks that
He's like a
dies in this
It's
next
like he
episode.
actually learned like a useful fighting style, unlike Alexandra, who's just
hugs.
water.
Episode 5, they escape the restaurant.
Wait, does Sawande escape yet?
No, that's
Okay,
somebody. And
good.
they
I
escaped the
wanted to-
restaurant. And episode 5 is when you figure out that Luke Cage actually ended up capturing Zawanda. Luke Cage went with them when they went back to whatever, the warehouse. Or they ended up going to the warehouse. They find out, boom, Luke Cage actually somehow, when Zawanda went after him, captured Zawanda. So now they got one of the fingers of the hand. And this scene, episode 5 was one of the best episodes too, man. Zawanda is like straight up like getting in their fucking heads.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Like,
Well,
he shows those, like, his age and his experience, man. He's like getting in her head. Like he starts mentioning like Jessica Jones, Kilgrave and shit. It's like oh, am I getting in your head?
Yeah, he's actually a person that seems like he's learned.
Yeah.
Gal
more
does it
subtly.
too, though. Like, actually, pretty much all of them try and get into their heads. It's something that pretty much everyone does, I think. But I think he did it really well. I think Gao does it pretty damn well too. But I agree. He does just. They're like, we're interrogating you, and he's like, no, I'm interrogating you.
Well, Gal always struck me as like, eventually I'll take a loss.
Yeah,
I want to be like partners or something.
he's just got to
But
wait
he's
for
like,
it.
by
Yeah.
the end of this, you're gonna be kneeling to me. It's like, I thought that was
He's like a
awesome.
real African warlord. He's fucking evil.
He's a straight up
as
fucking
shit.
warlord. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
He was
at
awesome.
the end of this, you will be kneeling to me, and I will feed you drugs and make you kill people. Like whoa.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect when he escapes. I love that because I was like, oh, they're gonna let him escape just like this dumb way, which they do, and he escapes in this dumb way. And as he's about to leave, he's like, I'm getting out of here. And Styx he knew, like it looks like he knew the whole time. He was just waiting behind him, like,
basically.
and decapitated.
He just cut his head off.
Because wasn't that his plan to be?
Yeah, I think he just wanted to kill him. He's like, we're not gonna get anything from him.
Yeah, no,
Just kill him.
Fucking point. Yeah, he was the one that told him. He was like, he's literally thousands of fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Just kill him.
He's been captured 1,300 times and escaped every time.
He's been killed like 3 or 4 times. Goes back to life. So just kill him and we'll
You know that
burn the
thing
body.
that you don't know? That thing that you don't know about? He knows.
Yeah.
They go to the PD, I think, here after this scene.
They get all their people to go
they
to
get
the
all the
police
people because
department.
they're worried about, yeah.
Because that was Sawande's doing in a way. Because Sawande's like, oh, and if you don't think we're coming after your significant others, we are.
And this is where they go to the PD and Misty Knight, and this is where they start to they keep putting Misty Knight in the dark here. I don't like that either. Like the whole time, like you could trust Misty Knight, and they're like, oh, we're just gonna keep her in the dark the entire season.
Yeah, they don't want to tell her for some reason.
It's like, why?
It's the fucking trope. Heroes always get into it.
Yeah, also Bakuto, we found out is back alive here. Sorry for earlier. Bakuto's alive. And also I wanted to mention David Tennant, Kilgrave, people were talking about this. He might actually he might be alive again.
I didn't see anything.
Well, supposedly, he just because they have the substance that can bring people back, and they mentioned Kilgrave directly to.
Oh, so you think maybe they brought him back?
They could have.
I can
don't
see
know.
them wanting to use it.
That's what I was exactly
that's
about to say.
true, too, yeah.
He's if he could just control them, I feel like they would be like, no, we don't want
That
him.
is what he's doing.
All
All
right,
doing
so
weird shit.
episode 6, they kind of turn on Danny at the warehouse because they all kind of come to the same conclusion. They want Danny. Let's not let him leave or do anything. So they kind of turn on him, sort of. Yeah, gently restrained, and then we have this kind of
And
cool.
then Jessica comes up and knocks his shit out.
Yeah, we had this cool fight scene where I liked and a little bit disliked. I like essentially him and Iron Fist Iron Fist and Daredevil go at it. Now through this, you have Luke Cage also trying to grab Iron Fist here and there, so he does kind of have to worry about that other thing. But Danny Rand and Matt Murdock fight. It was a good fight, but at the same time, Matt Murdock seemed to have the upper hand the entire time, and I feel like that shouldn't be the case.
I think in canon, I'm not sure if he should, but I think in canon, even though they say Iron Fist is like the best martial artist around, it feels like actually Daredevil is the best. They even say several times that Stick, I think, is like, well, we really wanted him to help.
Stick outright says that Daredevil.
Yeah, I feel
He's
like
you're a born leader. You're better than him.
you should be in charge. I think, and you're way better at fighting. So I think in canon he might actually be better.
But either way, it's essentially a 1v3. It's essentially a 1v3, and they end up knocking Danny out. But it was a cool little fight scene. They capture him. They take him up into some warehouse so they can keep him out of harm's, but keep him away from hand.
That group that did that thing.
That did that thing.
Hey, look at that! I can write for Marvel.
All right, I'm back.
All right, he's back. All right. let's see. So we're on episode 6.
I adjusted it again.
That's fine.
Did the
Adjust
fight
it all you
thing-
want.
Just sit
Speak
fucking near
loudly
it.
enough.
Matt and Jessica go off to find out some more information, which this is one thing that was cool, but at the same time kind of weird. They go to this house, or Jessica's family that she's trying to help his house, to get some more information, and then there's like blueprints in the piano or something.
Secret blueprints.
Secret
Yeah, he
blueprints.
hid the blue.
And I don't like how Matt is the one who finds them. Like, Jessica Jones is supposed to be the detective of the group.
I mean,
I don't.
how long has she really been like? You got to think about private detectives. Like, private detectives don't really do overarching conspiracies and like
Yeah,
global domination.
I agree with that, but at the
So
same
like,
time,
I don't feel like she's gonna be. Also, it's like, how many rich people does she work for? So how many times is she gonna be used to trying to find hidey holes in rich places?
I don't
She's
know.
not gonna
Man.
be
She works
like-
for a lot of rich people, actually.
I mean, that one.
She works for like the biggest law firm, technically like a subcontractor for the biggest law firm in New York.
Well, that's because that lady has a crush on her.
True.
yeah,
It's because Trinity wants her to be in the Matrix.
That's right.
I'm with you. But I was gonna say, I actually kind of feel like Jessica Jones' place in the team is the one I was least excited or understood. Mostly just like everyone else there seems like they can really fight and are badass.
Yeah,
And
she
she
even
just
says
kinda,
that.
like-
She's like, "Am I the only fucking one that doesn't know kung fu here?" Like,
Yeah,
That's my point. Is that
it really feels
when
like
you-
she's a little not
That's-
as necessary.
That's because that's my point. Is that the part that she is necessary and supposed to be good with is things like this detective shit. Like when you do a team of cast like this in writing in general, you would distinctly have their benefits. You have like Daredevil's like the leader, fighter, sense kind of guy. You have Luke Cage, who's just a fucking meat shield, strong guy, but also the connection to
so
the
like philosophical
yeah,
backbone.
and connection to the lower class. You have Iron Fist, who's got the money and the backing to fund the group and has the spiritual mystical side, and then you have Jessica Jones, who's the cynical kind of
Supposed to be,
snarky
like,
relief, but also
streetwise,
streetwise and very like detective oriented. And so like they kind of took that away from her a little bit. That is her part. That's why I said that's why I was kind of irritated. But
Yeah.
her part
Yeah,
is
that's
to
a good
find
point.
that shit.
That's true.
So-
I agree now. I also feel like she should have.
She should have found that shit. Yo.
Glad I brought that point up.
Yeah, but whatever, not too big of a deal. Stick knows his plan now. He knows his third option. He
He's
drugs fucking Luke Cage and is like, I'm gonna just.
I
kill
saw
Iron
that
Fist.
fucking happening the
Oh,
second
yeah.
I saw that smoke.
It was the weird,
oh,
like-
God damn it, you asshole.
It was the
You
weird thing
fucking
when he
ass.
started
Yeah,
like
he's doing that. I was
lofting.
like, well, yeah, now he's just
I was
trying
like,
to kill him.
well, yeah.
So he goes to kill him, but Alexa shows up and actually saves Danny, but kills Stick.
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
feel
was
like
good.
he played his part.
Yeah,
he
he
played his part and he was kind of being a dick at that point.
I think he only had so much to do.
I
Anyways,
think
so.
they planned that very well with his pacing throughout the seasons, where it's like, all right, you gave us the flashback. He's a shitty dad then. He's a shitty dad now. He knows kung fu real good. He's swell in a fight, but so is like 2 of us together. So we have 4 now. So yeah, I'm okay with him dying.
I mean, yeah, it was time, and that's pretty much having an episode. We can move on to episodes. Oh well, not pretty much. There's one other big thing that happens this episode. I missed it on the rerun through because I just like skipped this part, I guess. Electro Nachos kills Alexandra.
Oh, does that happen in this
Yeah,
episode?
the very end of the
Yeah.
episode.
I kind of
it's
saw
the
that.
super end of the episode.
Kind of saw that coming.
Okay.
I figured if she wasn't gonna defect,
I remember her
Then she was
taking
at least
over.
gonna kill
I
her.
thought that was in like 7
Yeah.
or 8.
Well, I started watching 7, because I just rewatched it before we did this, or was kind of skipping through.
You skipped.
And the
it.
first scene I saw in 7 was after she'd already done it. So I was like, it
that
must
makes
have been
sense
right at the
because
end of 6.
because she captures Iron Fist, and then Alexandra's arguing with the other people, and as that is happening, Elektra walks in with
Just- yeah,
Danny.
just straight up
she just walks
fucking-
in with Danny, and she's like, "See, I told you everything was." And
Well,
Just straight up
essentially
murks
what happened was right before that. So this whole time she started remembering. It's like she's like the black sky, but also remembering her being
she's starting
Elektra.
to remember being Elektra. She goes to Danny's
And
Yeah,
essentially
apartment.
what she
symbolism.
said
She
was-
uses the Sai instead of the Wakazashi.
Yeah, and the whole time she's starting to remember. And then essentially right here she walks in. Alexandra's like, see, shit's going down. But right before this she had just said, now go kill the rest of them. And she's like, oh, I'm not going to kill Matt. Because she's remembering now. And she just told her the one thing she's not going to do, which is she told her to kill Matt. And she's like, I'm not going to kill Matt.
Yep. So she kills Alexandra, and she basically tells the rest of the hand,
I'm the fucking
I'm the
man.
leader now. You follow me.
And this is where the plot kind of falls to pieces a little bit. Now, I was cool with her killing her.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
See, because I was cool with her killing her because it makes sense. I mean, to the degree that she's remembering.
failing. She's doing a bad job. She's focusing on.
Yeah, and just the fact of what she told her to do. So, but then at that point, she just essentially like kills her, but then just takes over and keeps the same plan. Essentially, it's like,
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
why would you keep the what?
Like they
Well,
don't
she
question
wants-
it. They're just like, okay, yeah, you can lead us now.
I mean, she just wants
not one of us.
immortality as well. And the rest of them go along with it.
Why?
True that she is kind of like, we're going back to the old plan where like this is for us. Fuck everybody else. Like fuck any kind of new plan or going back. Like we just want to.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean,
that's-
this is
yeah.
I think, another place.
But
where
I think Madame Gao is important, like you were saying earlier, actually, about her willingness to just take a loss and then accept and to make a deal or whatever,
long
work with.
plan.
This is exactly what she does here. She goes, everyone's kind of like, why the fuck would we follow you? And Gao's like, well, hold on. She did bring us the Iron Fist. We have what we need now. So I say, yeah, this was follow her. Like,
It's like she's not trying to take anything from us.
Yeah.
Like she just wants to do this. So fuck it, let's do it.
So they do. Moving on to episode 7, they're back at the police department. Still not telling Misty Knight shit.
yeah, they don't want to tell her anything.
Well, I
the
mean,
whole-
to be fair, one, never talk to cops. And two, they are humans. Like they're gonna get.
Well, I'm not
fucking murked.
mad about her not telling the cops shit. Just specifically Misty Knight. They keep putting her in
True,
the dark.
but she seems kind of like the honor kind of motherfucker that would be like, well, now I gotta arrest you.
Luke Cage hasn't woke up yet, but he wakes up in the episode. Drugs did a number on him. They're here. They're in the place. They got to escape so they can go help Danny because Danny's now captured.
Down
And-
below, next to where exactly they fucking want it.
Yeah.
Out about it.
So yeah, they're like, we got to go. Foggy actually steps up here, brings Daredevil his Daredevil kit. All right, man, y'all got to
Go like,
escape
hey,
because
I
it's like
brought
you
you-
need to make sure they see you as a lawyer still.
Brought you a change of clothes, buddy.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, wink.
like,
and they're like,
got you-
why is that guy winking at you so much when he's talking about
He's
your
got
clothes?
a wink problem.
he just does that. It's
He
weird.
had a stroke right now. Just right now.
It's just a small one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
He'll get over it.
So, obviously they break a hole in the wall and they escape and they go after Danny. Colleen at the same time finds her an opportunity where she sees the explosives.
She
and
finds the
blueprints.
explosives and the blueprints, and she decides she's gonna be useful.
I'm a fucking.
She's
fucking
tired of
shit
not
up.
being useful, essentially. The Bakuto's like put her in her own head.
And Claire. And Claire goes.
And then Claire like reaffirms it and be like, no, but you are useful. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to be useful.
We're gonna be useful and almost dead together.
So she takes the bombs.
I have a
and escapes.
wrench. That wrench.
Yeah, man. She does it, bro.
Uses that wrench heavy.
and they all meet up at middle. Well, they don't meet
They
up.
meet up
but-
there. Danny's taken down to the hole by Elektra. And yeah, they have their little fight scene where Danny is a fucking
This
idiot.
was so dumb. Oh my god, Danny, again proving he has the lowest IQ of anybody.
Opens the fucking door.
Proving that he was hit in the head with a rock as a child.
Oh, he wasn't a plane crash.
Jesus Christ. He's like, would you just open this for
an
me? And he
excuse.
goes, I won't open this for you. I will not do it. And then lights up his fist and tries to fight her, which of course he doesn't even try and lead her away from the door or anything. He doesn't walk
I'm
back
gonna
and go,
fling his power around wildly.
it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
It was kind of cool how she did it, though. Like, she used her little fucking things and, like, directed his blow into the
Whatever.
wall to be the key.
He's
Oh,
dummy.
yeah.
I mean, he's an idiot. Yeah,
Pretty
he's-
much established that Elektra's better than every single person she's ever fought.
Yeah.
Well, that there's necessarily because she's the black sky, she's the weapon or whatever. But
Yeah.
Well, she was also Elektra beforehand.
true.
Yeah, which was also super, essentially another Matt Murdock.
Electric Nachos is my. I care
Electric Nachos.
about that name. Like that's a nice name.
I
for her.
hated how they kept
Electric
saying that,
nachos.
man. They kept like saying her full name. Like,
Nachos.
why are you saying her full name? Like, it makes no sense. Why do you keep saying the full fucking name?
Electra Nachos is back. You can just fucking say Electra.
Yeah, I wish she would do that.
Say
She'd just be
Electra.
like, Electra
I
is
know
fine.
who you're talking about. I also hung out with them for several decades. Like
You're also by saying the full. You're making it less. You're just making it awkward, man.
she's
This
out.
is-
She's literally told you she likes L. She wants to go by L more often than not. Like why are you still being? He
They
just
went,
has like
they went the exact opposite direction with that. They called her Electra. She's like, I prefer L. They were like, okay, Electra Nachos.
Electra Nachos.
What
It's
the
like
fuck,
they're
man?
just ignoring it. It's like Electra Nachos. That's your name.
That's who
full
you
name.
are. You're not. Maybe they're just doing that to try and reinforce
Well, true, 'cause
that
she's
she is
also, like,
not the
fucking
black sky.
Dawn and everything. She's like, you're Electra Nachios, and she's like, that's such a long name.
It's like, wow, the black sky is so much easier to say.
They
She's
all
not the Black Swan. She's the Black Sky.
Black Sky.
I didn't say the black swan. Okay.
They all show up to the building though. The rest of them to try and get in there and save Danny and save the New York City. And here's another problem where I have. So they start fighting the rest of the hand, like Gao and the rest of them.
And they're ninjas.
The whole point of these people, well, they don't even have their ninjas with it. It's just them. It's just the three Bakuto,
Oh, okay.
the Japanese dude, and Gao. And they have
Japanese dude is hardcore.
they don't have no more substance. They have no more substance left. And they're like, we have minions, but fuck it, we're just gonna fight you. Like
True, yeah.
your whole goal is to live forever and then get back to Kunlun. Like, why are you fighting them personally right now? It's not
They're
like
doing
they
it
trapped
because
you.
the
You
script
literally-
wanted them to have a fight with them. I
I
think that
guess.
was it. Because they do admit later on, Gao's like, we stalled them. That's all we were trying to do.
It happened because it did.
I was fucking throwing chi bombs around left and right.
One thing I will say about that Japanese dude, I feel like we were promised a
He seemed
A
a
lot
lot
more
more
than-
hardcore than he
than we
actually
got.
turned out being.
he really didn't do as much as I really was like in the beginning. They really like this guy's a hunter.
Like,
He
he's
enjoys
a,
the hunt.
He's a piece of shit. He kills endangered animals.
He just
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like, okay.
and he just fucking loves killing. He's
That's what I
straight
was
at
about
it.
to say. When he first came in the first few episodes with him, I was like, I actually really like this guy. And then by the end, I was like, okay, he did nothing. Okay.
That's the problem. I
then
feel like
it's
we
like-
were promised something that
It
we
never
were,
really. I
delivered.
didn't catch what he kills the things with. He kept talking about it like he was fighting the bear.
I think he's doing, like,
I think he did it
knives.
bare hand or
Yeah,
something.
bare hands, yeah.
Like, and then I was like, well, does this guy turn into a bear? Like, what's his power? What does he
Is
do?
he a
No,
druid?
he just punches things to death, I guess, like a normal person.
So he opened, Danny Rand being a fuckhead, accidentally or whatever, opens the wall. The episode ends with him awakening in the cave under a fucking dragon.
Fucking
And you
dragon
find out that's what the
bones.
substance is this whole time.
It's
It's
like
dragon
the bones of the dragons or something.
Oh, which
dragon
it can
marrow.
make sense in that degree. I'm okay with that. Somehow taking this dragon away, it's been given life to fucking New York City. It's going to crumble. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, like that. I didn't really get. I was like, why is just because dead dragon bones are here? Why does New York have life? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. I was like, okay. I mean, is it somehow holding the fucking island up? Like,
Is the suggestion there that every major city has a dragon underneath it?
no, I think it's just suggesting that the island is somehow being propagated up.
Oh, okay. That's
Like-
still pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
very loose. It's like, really?
It's not really anything. Like it's kind
Oh,
of just randomly.
Their whole plan, the whole
Like I
like
said,
explanations
the
are
whole
real.
motivations all over the place with the hand. Like, it just was just all over the place. Like, that was one of the biggest weaknesses of the show. It's just the hand in general. Like, they could have been much cooler, and they had like glimpses, like Gao being kind of cool. Even the Japanese dude speaking to Japanese the whole time and being like hella hardcore, but then not really doing shit. Sawande was super dope. But just like I said, it just fell apart. The motivations fell apart. The plot fell apart. It's like, what the does that matter? Episode 8, we have our big. They all go down. Colleen and Claire
They're setting the
are setting
explosives.
the explosives. The rest of them go down to get Danny and fight all these
Then,
people.
yeah, then
underneath
Colleen has her second fight
with Bakudo, where
and Claire. Although Misty
Misty Knight-
Misty helps.
Misty Knight loses her fucking arm.
Loses her arm, which is awesome because if you read the comics, she's gonna get her robotic Rand arm.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
buddy.
felt like they were
Nice.
suggesting that because
Oh, for sure.
yeah, at the end,
They've already shown pictures too for.
Oh, dang, okay.
Yeah, for I think Luke Cage season 2.
Oh,
She's already
I'm
got
gonna
her
be so
arm.
fucking pumped for Luke Cage. Oh my god, Punisher. Oh, don't get me started
Punisher
on
comes
fucking
out soon, which
Punisher.
we'll do one on
we
as
got
well.
yeah, we got a Punisher trailer at the end of this.
Get
but
me
we don't need to talk
fucking
about
back on here for that. I will 3 hours. I will nonstop talk
Do it,
about fucking Punisher. I love Punisher. I love Deadpool. They're my favorites. They're my favorite
We're gonna be doing it. So they have these big old fight scenes underneath, which it was a little cheesy. Like when they're coming down the elevator, like, what are we gonna do? And Jesse Jones like, I'll just stand here. Y'all get on top. It's not obvious. And then they just jump down once she
I
walks
thought it was
out.
weird that she was the one who did that as opposed to Luke Cage because he's
Yeah,
invulnerable.
he can't. Yeah.
So why wouldn't he just walk out there like I don't give a fuck about any of this? You can't kill me.
Anyways, they have their fight scenes. The fight scenes were kind of cool, and then they up to a point, and even then when they started playing rap, and that was I guess cool too, but it was a little
In
weird.
Luke Cage, that works really well, but once you start bringing in like, him not beating up a gang of people, like it doesn't mesh. Like it brings you out of it. It's
Well,
like
I
I
didn't
think they should
mind
have
it.
done. Well, the problem was the tone, and the tone was
Yeah.
kind of all over a little bit. It's tone is super serious. They get fighting, it's super
Like,
serious.
this is it. This
and then
is
all
the
of a sudden
end.
it gets like hype fighting, and
I
it's
think
like
I think you're
They should have
exactly
did
right.
that the other way around.
I
if
think
they
you're
were gonna do
exactly
it.
right because they also play rap during the Midland Circle fight when Luke Cage and what's his name,
that
and
worked.
that works.
That worked, yeah.
That works
Because
So-
that's like show off, be cool. Like you're just trying to win right now, and then this.
and then
it's like
this
it's
is
the
like
very
this is
end.
the very end of the world scenario.
It's
If
like-
you don't win,
No lyrics, guys. No lyrics in the music. Don't need to be focusing about
And
what's
it could
going
be like
on.
it could be maybe like some sort of like musical
beat or something.
beat
like
music.
a nice
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like a
Like a
symphony
beat,
or something
yeah.
kind of thing. But you know what I mean? Like you're
Like
in the
a
Dark
cover.
Knight. Like you're in the Dark Knight.
Like,
kind
see,
of
they
shit,
could do like a more serious cover.
I don't know what
of,
they could
like,
do.
a popular song.
But I will agree that rap is probably the wrong choice. For
They could have
that
done it
situation.
at
That one
first,
scene,
like
yeah.
when they first jumped out, like let's do it, and then it got dark as it progressed. But like to do it, and then all of a sudden it's like we stopped, and now it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's. I feel like what they're doing in every Marvel movie now. It's like the joke parts are getting a little too frequent.
Yeah, they,
Like I understand what you're doing, and it does work very well, like at certain times. But then it's like this random joke will come out of nowhere, and it's like I'm
it's
out
almost
of it now.
expected now. I agree. They take you out of it, and it's like the reason the joke parks were great in the first place
they
is
were
because
rare.
it was like nice when it happened. It was just like whoa, I didn't see that joke coming. Like it wasn't that type of situation. But now they're overdoing it.
Yeah, it's like everybody turned into fucking Guardians of the Galaxy after like their
Well,
trailers
that's the
came
problem
out.
is they're all very reaction. That's what essentially screwed the Suicide Squad movie. Is
Yep.
they were like, oh, it's going this way, and then it's this way, and this.
And
So
then
they had three different fucking
re-edited
movies.
The fucking movie
yeah.
like 8 goddamn times.
Yeah, so I mean that's the problem. Is like just stick with your fucking guns, man.
Then
Make
they
a
threw
good
in the
movie.
fucking trash. We're going.
Yeah, but not to get on that. We've already been in this episode way too long.
Yeah, we're doing a whole season here. We can go.
How long is it?
I'm pumped for
120.
Justice League.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, but you know, as they had their fight scene, they all get out except for Matt. He's found there fighting Elektra. I don't know if the hand, like they're down there too. I don't know if they get all out. I know the Japanese died. I think he died.
I think
he got kicked
eventually
off.
they become aware that it's gonna fucking go down, and they need to get out, and then it's just him and her.
I feel like Gao gets out, but I think the Japanese dude gets on the elevator and gets kicked off or something. So I think he's dead.
I think
Daredevil's dead. He didn't make it.
Nah.
He's just over
Yeah,
with. I
somehow he
stopped
gets
watching
out.
the show when it went black. I didn't.
He's down there
fighting.
fighting. He's like half fighting, half trying to make love to Elektra
Looking make out a little.
in the basement while this shit's coming down. You think he's dead. Yeah, so he thinks he's gonna die. We think he dies, and then he gets out somehow. We
Wakes up next to a
assumingly
nun.
Elektra, because she's much stronger somehow. Maybe there's like a separate tunnel or something. Elektra pulls him out, puts him in a nun. Which I was telling Jared, I saw they called, I can't, what's her name? I think it was Maggie. I think they called it. They were like, get Maggie, he's alive or he's awake or something like that. Supposedly in the comics, Matt's mom is Maggie,
Oh shit.
and she's like a nun. Like his mom is a nun.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I read he wakes up next to a nun.
Yeah.
So it could be he's in a convent somewhere secret.
Yeah, it might be his mom too, is what I'm getting at.
Fucking cool.
How did find his mom?
I don't know. But obviously that means Elektra's probably alive as well. Another really cool shot at the end is actually, and because I really want Iron Fist to be fucking cool. You know, hashtag
I would
make
like-
Iron Fist cool again.
Ten fist.
Ten Fist. He's at the end. He's like in his fucking jumpsuit from like the comics or some shit like that, and he's got the fist going on the roof, and you see him. And I was like, hell yes, maybe he's finally grown the fuck up. He's gonna be good now.
I
So
would
I'm
genuinely
hoping-
enjoy his character if.
Yeah,
stronger.
I mean, he has really cool abilities, and he's what I feel like he should be like. I didn't get into the comics too much, but I've kind of looked up shit here and there. It's supposed to be much more of like this lighthearted but kind of serious. Like, I mean, he's a monk.
I imagine him to be very calm and lighthearted. Like he has a serious side, but he's very centered.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was weird. I definitely remember that from like the first series of Iron Fist when he was all like nice and cool, and now he's just angry like all the fucking time, like he's lost his fucking center. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't have that place to calm down really anymore.
yeah, but like when he comes on, you're expecting him to be kind of. So you got Jessica Jones, as we were talking about the team dynamics earlier, and she's kind of like the snarky, like pessimistic, funny relief. I think Iron Fist is supposed to be much more like chill, funny relief.
Yeah.
Where he's like, like I mean, you see it a few times here when like Daredevil does his little whip thing on Sawande's fucking neck. He's like, "Whoa, that was cool," you know, things like that. Like,
Fingers crossed we get a standalone Claire Temple series.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But
No. It's just ER,
it's just ER, bro,
but it's all
for
different
6
heroes.
episodes.
But it's all different heroes, yeah.
Overall, I thought the Defenders could have been a lot better, but wasn't the worst ever, wasn't the best ever. You know, like we said, 7 out of 10 for me.
My favorite part about the show was the trailer for Punisher afterwards.
The trailer was good.
But yeah, like I think like about the same, like 6 to 7 out of 10. The only reason I'm really giving it that high of a rating is because the foundation the previous seasons put on with Daredevil and fucking Jessica Jones was. I did like that one. I just couldn't. And then fucking Luke Cage, which is the best one. Well, Daredevil's the best one. But
Daredevil's the best one.
Production value, Daredevil's definitely the best one. They put everything in.
First half of Luke Cage is fantastic, though.
Luke Cage is very solid. But I think without those being as good as they are, this would have flopped. And it would have not have been as good as also. I think they have a lot. They have a lot to tighten up. Like, if they just came out with Defenders, everybody would have been like, this is fucking trash.
Yeah,
they have a lot to tighten up. But they did a lot really well.
You know, just don't hire Scott Butt back. Akiva Goldsman, don't hire him if he's involved in any of this. I don't know. But if he is, fuck him too.
The actors are solid. Like, we got that down. The casting has been fucking amazing.
Even Danny Rand, who might be overacting. I think he can do
I wanted to believe in him. When I heard that he was cast, I was like, that's fucking great. I love
looks the part. Yeah, he looks the part. A lot of acting, we can't tell if it's necessarily him or just the writing. Definitely season 1 was mostly writing. You know, maybe we'll see by season 2. And another thing, Netflix, people love your Marvel shit. You're paying a lot of money for this Marvel shit. Put a little more money in, make sure the shit's good, okay?
Balance it out. Go
ahead. Got something to predict? Like predictions for what? Like what's going to happen in season 2 of Defenders? I think for season 2 of Defenders, my prediction is that Wilson Fisk will actually be the big baddie for season 2 of the Defenders.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll come back in season 3 of Daredevil. He'll start to come back and he'll start making a play. He'll be getting out of prison. And I think for season 2 of the Defenders, he'll be the overarching villain. And I can't fucking wait because I love that actor. He is by far, he's one of my top 5 favorite actors. I've loved him literally in everything he's ever done. I've loved him. Or even before when he did Full Metal Jacket.
Law and Order, man.
Oh yeah, that literally brought me back to Law and Order.
That's my favorite. That's
my favorite season of Law and Order too. Yeah. Or like, you know, you got Law and Order SVU and all this shit, and it's like the thing that's on TV that you're all like, oh, okay, it's on TV, whatever. Like,
it's
like,
oh man, put this it on is the one with that weird dude.
You put it on the background, but that one, I think his is CI or CSI or something.
Investigation.
CI. I actually literally sat down and watched all those.
And that was when, like, because we're close to the same age, so that was when we were in, like, middle school and high school and shit, when, like, our attention is the most valuable thing in the fucking world, and we legitimately sit down and watch Law and Order.
It was super good, man. I love Vincent. I can't ever pronounce his last name.
D'Onofrio.
But I love him in everything he does, yo. He's super good, man. Yeah, so, I mean, that's my prediction for Defenders Season 2. I think Punisher's going to be good. It's coming out soon. We'll do a podcast on Punishers when it comes out. As y'all also know, we're doing the Mistborn series, which will have Mistborn 1 and 2 coming out soon. We had a mix-up with that, but we'll have that coming out soon. The other things coming out we might be doing here soon.
I'm going to go do my laundry.
Got a new brother today, Tyler, now Woods. And we'll be back next time with Mistborn Mistborn, The Final Empire, and then Mistborn, The Well of Ascension. It'll probably come out pretty much back-to-back, super quick. We'll see you next time. This is the Brothers Woods signing out.
Cue the outro.
I was really pissed off. Someone stole my goddamn flashlight. My pocket knife.
I don't know, man. If he was out there, we should shoot him, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Gun, but we could have.
I say it into the mic. Still, for me, you get shot.
If you're on property.
If you're on the property, yes.
Like, just take them and drag them to the property first.
That's kidnapping.
Oh. Just trick them like Electra.
Hey, you want some ham?
Hey, I'm not. Yeah, just walk out there and be like, "Hey, it's cool, man. You want some food? Yeah, just come on over. I'll just grab you, get you a sandwich."
I'm gonna need you. Like, we don't knock around here, so just kick the door a few times, and then you come right on in.
Come on in and grab yourself a sandwich. It's fine.
If you put a hole in it, you get bonus points.
Yeah, bonus points if you can break it down.
Then I can see. I mean,
we just want to know how strong you are. It's really a door. We put it up every week. It's fine.
Yeah.